She embodied the fragile mystique of the 1960s, a figure whose life often seemed scripted from a heartbreaking drama. Mia Farrow journeyed from a whirlwind marriage to Frank Sinatra to a celebrated rise in film, all while creating an expansive, unconventional family. But her search for emotional safety led her into one of Hollywood's most volatile and heavily examined partnerships, a relationship that transformed into a deeply public crisis. What followed stunned the world, a shocking discovery that shattered her household and ignited one of the most notorious custody battles of the modern era. The revelations that emerged were darker than anyone anticipated, spawning accusations that continue to reverberate decades later. Born Maria de Lourdes Villiers Farrow in 1945, her early years mixed privilege with instability. Her mother, Maureen O'Sullivan, was a beloved screen star, while her father, John Farrow, was an acclaimed director. But behind the polished facade, home life was far from serene. At 9, Mia was stricken with polio, a lonely ordeal that instilled in her a quiet strength beneath her delicate exterior. At just 21, she entered a swift, high-profile marriage with the much older Frank Sinatra, an intense union that lasted only 2 years and hinted at a pattern of seeking comfort in relationships with commanding older figures. This longing for stability set the stage for the defining upheaval that lay ahead. The core of her story revolves around her turbulent relationship with filmmaker Woody Allen, which began in 1980. They never married, but lived side by side in Manhattan and built an intricate family structure that included their biological son, Ronan, along with many of her adopted children, among them Soon-Yi Previn and Dylan Farrow. For more than 10 years, they were central figures in intellectual and cinematic circles, producing 13 films together, from Hannah and Her Sisters to Crimes and Misdemeanors. Their artistic partnership drew praise, but their private life was famously uneasy and unconventional. Mia longed for a sense of normality that Allen never offered, while Allen maintained emotional distance. The strain simmered beneath their collaborative success, leading toward an explosive fallout. Everything collapsed in 1992. Mia discovered explicit photographs Allen had taken of her adopted daughter, Soon-Yi, then a young adult in college. The revelation of their secret relationship sent shockwaves through their home and through Hollywood. But even that was not the darkest turning point. Soon after, Mia accused Allen of sexually abusing their 7-year-old adopted daughter, Dylan Farrow, an allegation he forcefully denied. What followed was a ferocious, highly public conflict fought through legal proceedings, the media, and the divided opinions of millions watching from afar. It became one of the most dramatic personal ruptures in entertainment history, tearing apart a famous family and leaving lasting scars. The aftermath created a permanent divide. Allen went on to marry Soon-Yi in 1997 and continued making films despite ongoing controversy. Mia, meanwhile, became the unwavering protector of her children, stepping back from acting to focus on them and eventually channeling her drive into humanitarian efforts with UNICEF. Though the abuse allegations never resulted in criminal charges, the split within the family has never healed. Today, Mia Farrow's legacy extends far beyond her ethereal screen presence. It reflects her steadfast resolve in the face of an ordeal that forced the world to confront troubling questions about power, artistry, and the boundaries of family.